Hey everyone, Colby Gallagher here with RSM. I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of some new functionality, some changes that are coming in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain, starting in September of 2024 with application release 10.0.41. Inventory transactions associated with warehouse work are going to be deprecated. What does deprecated mean? Deprecated means that Microsoft will no longer be providing fixes for or enhancements to inventory transactions that are associated with work, and they reserve the right to remove that functionality from the application in 1 year time. So we should anticipate that inventory transactions associated with work will be gone, will disappear sometime around September 2025 or quickly thereafter. Now, that functionality has been replaced with something new called warehouse transactions. And warehouse transactions are nice because they're much more performant. They are specifically architected around the functionality that's needed for warehouse operations, whereas inventory transactions are really architected around the financial aspects of D365. So today I want to walk everyone through a quick overview of what did transactions look like before, how do we go enable this new warehouse transaction functionality, and what are the transactions going to look like after? So let's go ahead and hop into a demo environment and look at how this functions. We see here that I have 2 sales orders to Cave Wholesales. I'm going to execute this first one using the configuration as it exists today with regular inventory transactions. Then we'll go ahead and enable warehouse transactions, and we'll complete this work. And then we'll look at kind of the differences, and I'll talk to any gotchas that you might run into. So let's go ahead and release this first one to the warehouse. And real quick, we'll see here before I refresh this that we just have 2 sales lines that are reserved physical. This is going to remain unchanged. When I refresh this, I'll see I have a work ID, and I see this in my inventory transactions screen. So let's go ahead, we'll hop over here, and we will go ahead and complete this work in the client, just because this part doesn't really matter. This is unchanged at this point. So from this, we'll see that we have inventory transactions in and out of my user location, and we will see that I have a picked sales line. So I'll go ahead and refresh this, and you'll see our normal, here's my sold transaction out of the bulk locate. Here's the inventory flowing through my user location. Here it is purchased to the bay door, and now my sales order line is in a picked status. That's all normal, right? So let's go ahead and look at how do we enable this functionality for warehouse transactions. So I'm going to go over to the warehouse management parameters screen. On the general tab here, I'm going to go down to the warehouse inventory transaction mechanism, and I can turn on warehouse transactions by work type. One thing to note that when you enable any of these or all of these, there's a specific check done that looks to see if you have any extensions in your environment to what are known deprecated methods. I have a blog post on the RSM site that has full details of what objects to investigate in the code. That'll give you more details on that. But we're going to go ahead and enable this for sales orders. And then I'm going to save my changes, close out of that just to make sure it commits. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to release our next sales order to the warehouse. So in this instance, we'll notice that our work got created. We'll go back over here to inventory transactions, and we shouldn't really see anything change here. And sure enough, we don't. But if I go back to my sales order and go drill into this and look at my work, I will see that I do have work. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and complete this just the same. Validate this, complete it. And when we go back over to our inventory transactions, we're just going to see that, well, I don't have any additional transactions, but my sales line is now in a picked status. Okay, well, where did these transactions go that were previously on the inventory transaction screen? we now have a new screen off of our released product. Let's go find A001 called the Warehouse Transactions screen. And here I can now see my new transactions that occurred. So I have registered issue. I see the same level of detail that it went through my user locate. I see where it came from, where it went to. I also have some new transactions around reservation management, right? So we'll see these physical reservations and remove physical reservation as the inventory reservation moves from the sales order line down to the warehouse work so that we can complete that. All right, so that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the change. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. My contact information is at the bottom of this blog. Thank you.